Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay. Give me a second. I'm waiting on my babysitter, and once she gets here, we'll get started. Hello, you guys. Sorry about that. I am going to try to make this as short as possible. I'm just trying to get my camera straight. It is crooked. Okay. Let me turn my TV off. All right. We're going to, I just wanted to get on here really quickly. One problem that I didn't get a chance to go over was gives free energy. If you take a look, the exam has already been posted. I know some people are saying that not all of the videos are up there. Chapter 19 somehow got misconstrued or something, and I'm in touch with Zoom. They are trying to convert it. They've been having some problems with it. I don't know what's going on. It was something on their end. It wasn't anything on my end. I did everything correctly. And then everybody is using Zoom per se, and they just got a backlog. And so they're working on it. I've been in contact with them. So what I am going to try to do, I may leave the test open a little bit longer. For those of you that haven't seen the videos, I may go back and redo chapter 19. And if I do, you can watch chapter 19. I'm just going to do a voiceover PowerPoint. I'm not going to be at the board or anything. I'll do a voiceover for chapter 19, and I will post it because I can do it straight from PowerPoint and just save it as an MPEG video. And I'll put that on YouTube. So if some people saying that they having issues or they haven't saw all of the videos and stuff, I will go back and redo those and extend the test open just for a few more hours or a day or so, so that for the ones that haven't seen that, they can get caught up. So let your classmates know, because I know a few of you guys probably are in touch with other classmates or y'all texting and all of that stuff. And I know y'all have group chat and group text. Let them know that Dr. Jones will do another video, just a voiceover PowerPoint for chapter 19, and I will extend it. You can see, especially on the written part, I have put it out until Wednesday night. So you got a little bit of time to work on that. Now the multiple choice part is going to be due by tonight. I may extend it to in the morning, but I know some people say they can't watch the videos or they can't make it to the live session. So I think chapter 19 was the only one that was missing. I posted all the videos that I had because I know it was a couple of times I didn't do class videos and stuff, or I didn't have class because the internet was down. But most of them should be posted. It should be 5 or 6 videos up there. It may be a few more, and I'm going to go check because I got backups of them. All right, let's talk about gives free energy. Now, delta G, delta H. Let me see, can I get a marker? So, okay, yes, that's delta G, delta H, and delta S. Now, there's an equation that all 3 of these are related, and that equation you guys need to know. So with that equation, hold on, I'm gonna get over here to my book real quick. So how are these 3 related? So delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Now with that, you need to remember one thing. temperature in this case has to be in Kelvin. So make sure you do that. So if I say at 25 degrees Celsius, make sure you convert that to 298. Okay, so that's one of the things that we need to make sure of. Now, I'm going to give you a question, and then we're going to go through and actually solve that question. So I'm not going to be on here long. This was the last part because you have a question on there that is dealing with Gibbs free energy, dealing with delta H and delta S. Now, one of the questions that is on there is, how do you solve for delta S and how do you solve for delta H? So how do we solve for these two if you're asked that question? Because one of the questions on there, I'm going to ask that. So give me just a second. Let me switch over here. Okay, so what we are looking at is, and then I'm going to erase this. So if you have, and I'm going to put up this equation right here. You have CH3, and that is CO2H, and this is a liquid. And then this is plus 2H, 2O2, I'm going to put water. 2O2, that's gas. That's going to give you or yield 2CO2 as a gas plus 2H2O as a, and I think that one is a gas. Now, this is the equation we're going to use. You're going to have an equation on there. And then they're going to ask you, first, calculate delta H and delta S. So that's the first thing we got to do. Now, calculating delta H and delta S. Now, one of the things that you have to do when you're calculating this, in the back of your book, there is an appendix. And then you can look, this appendix C in the back of your book. Now we go to appendix C, that's what I am doing right now. I got to see if this chemical is in the back, in appendix C. That's what I'm trying to do. Appendix C. I had all this marked and then my kids spilled some milk. So everybody got appendix C, right? Appendix C should be in the back of your book. That is delta G, delta H, and all of that stuff. C2. Did I put that? I want to make sure CH3H. Trying to make sure that I put that right. C2H5. And I may have written that wrong. CH3COOH. Yes, it is in there. It's CH3COOH. That's what that is. So what we're going to do, turn to appendix C. Now in appendix C, this is the same as CH3COOH. So that's the same formula. Now, what you're going to do with appendix C, you see, and this is the last one, there are delta H there and delta S there. You would get it from the chart. Now, how do you do that? Now, remember, this is an extensive property. So remember what we said, that you got to, what is delta H? is the sum. Let me write this in here. It's the sum of the, you got to put the coefficients. I'm going to put M, no, N, of the products minus the sum of the coefficient of the reactants. So that's what you have to do when it comes to delta H and delta S. And you can do delta G that way. So because all of them, you have to do that. Sum of the coefficients of the products minus sum of the coefficients of the reactants. So now that what we got to do is we got to go through and find delta H for each one of these. And we got to find delta S for each one of these that are in there. So let's look at appendix C. So I'm going to write those in red. So delta H for these. So if you look at appendix C, delta H, and you even have delta G in here too. So delta H is a negative 487. Negative 487. For this, the delta S is 159.8. And I'm just writing it up under each one. Now, for O2, because O2 is not on there, so think about it, O2 is not on there. That is at, that is elemental, that is a diatomic element. So your delta H for it is going to be O2. Your delta H is going to be 0. So for this one, delta H is 0. Your delta G is going to be 0 as well. And then your delta S is 205. So delta S for this one is equal to 205. Okay, now what I'm doing is, this is, you see the units up there at the top. I'm just writing the numbers down. This is out of appendix C. This is on page 1088 to 1091 in your book. And then you got carbon dioxide. I'm going to go to page, what is this? 1088. Let's see, carbon dioxide. This one is negative 393. Negative 393.5. And then the delta S is 213. I'm sorry, I'm gonna write that bigger in just a moment. 213.6. That's 213.6. Now then we go to water. And then for water, I'll get one. Hold on. You guys hold on just a second.
Want to try to get them out up there where they're jumping back.
Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, sorry about that. Now we just look for water. Now that is H2O. Let's find that. H2O, that is hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Trying to find that on a page. Trying to see where that is. Chlorine, chromium, cobalt. Trying to see if I see that. Okay, it's under oxygen. And now what you have to do is, when you look at these, make sure you look at what is in. Like this one, water is in gas form. So you look at H2O2 as gas. So the delta H is a negative 241. Negative 241.82. And then your delta S is 188.83. Now, write these down. So for this one, CH3COOH, and that should be acetic acid. That's negative 487. Delta S is a negative 159. I'm just trying to make sure I check my numbers. For this one, delta H is 0, delta S is 205, delta H is a negative 393, delta S is equal to 213.6. There's delta H, negative 241.82, and delta S is 188.83. Now, when you get all of those numbers, what you do is the sum of the products minus the reactant. So what you have to do is the products is over here. So you're going to do 2 times, and I'm going to put this in brackets, times what CO2 is, and I'm starting with delta H. That's a negative 393.5 because we're doing this for the whole reaction. 393.5, and then we're going to do plus, and then this is 2 times negative 241.82, close parenthesis, minus, and then what you have is, and I'm going to put this in parenthesis, and then there's just 487, and that's negative. And then that's just 1, and then this is plus 0. Let me see, 47, close parentheses. And so when you do that, you have to add all of that up. So that's going to give you your delta H of the reaction. So this is going to give you delta H. So in this case, let's look and see what delta H of that reaction is. I'm going to grab my calculator. Times 393.5. That is, let me put it down. Double parentheses, 2, and that's times negative 393.5, close parentheses, and I'm going to put plus, another parentheses, 2 times, and then that's a negative 241.82, and I'm close parentheses, close parentheses. So for that part right here, this should be a negative 1270.64, and then that is minus, and a minus time a minus, you guys will give you a plus 487. So 1270 negative 12 plus 487. You should get a delta H of a negative 783.64. So that's what your delta H should be for that. Negative 783.64. Now, with that, now we done got delta H. Now, let's find delta S. And we got to go through and do the same thing. So I'm going to erase this part down here at the bottom. So we got delta H. Let's go through and do delta S. Now we're going to do delta S the same way. So when we do delta S, this is what we're going to do. Products minus the reactants. That's what you have to do. Now with that, you're going to do with delta S, you're going to do parentheses 2 times that is 213.6 0.6 plus parentheses 2 times, and then I'm gonna put 188.83. 83, close parentheses, close brackets, and then that's gonna be minus. Okay, over here you got bracket negative 159.8, and then this is plus 205, and that is 2 times 205. Let me make sure. 2 times 205. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on my calculator. 2 times 213.6. Okay, let me do all these parentheses. I want to make sure. So, double parentheses. That'll be 2 times 213.6. All right. And then that is going to be plus 2 parentheses. Plus, go back because I got to make sure I put my parentheses in there right. 2. This is 2 times 188.83, close parentheses. That is 804.86. So this is 804.86. And then what I'm going to do is do this part right here. That's going to be minus. Then we're going to do 2 times 205 is 410. It's 159.8. Is it's going to be a minus this all right here is 250.2. Now once I do that, but this is 250.2, I am going to do 804.86 minus 250.2, and this is going to give me a delta S of 554.66. Now, are you guys with me on that? I want to make sure you guys are understanding that. Okay, so you got delta H, you got delta S. Now, what I was telling you earlier, and I'm going to erase all of this right here. We done found out what delta H and delta S is. Let's just say that I am doing this under room temperature. Is it positive or is it negative on the chart? Let me check. I'll check, Taylor. Hold on. And that 158 was for, I'm sorry, I erased it too quick. I erased it too quick. Yes, it's positive. For the first one, that 158 is, that 159.8 is positive. Yes, it's positive. That's off the chart. Okay. Did I make it negative? That's what I did. Did I make it negative on there? Let me go back and check. Let me make sure. So if it was supposed to be negative, hold on. I can check that. So it's supposed to be positive. That 159.8 was over here. Okay, let me go back and rewrite that out real quick. Thanks, Taylor, for the catch. So let me go back and redo the delta S again, just to make sure. So delta S, let's see, let's go back for This one is the delta. This one is a positive 159.8. Let's see here. For the oxygen, the O2, I'm gonna make sure. And guys, if you want to make sure, that's the O2 gas 205.0, 205.0. For that one, the CO2, let me do water real quick while I'm up here. Water and gas is 188. 88.3. And then carbon dioxide, 213, So let me go through and write it out again. I just will make sure. So that'll be 2 times 213.6 the brackets plus 2 times 188.3, and that's going to be minus 159.8, and then that's going to be plus times 2 times 205.0. Okay, I see where I messed up on that right there. Let me go back and do that. So this right here should still be 804.86, and that is minus 2 times 205, 2 times 205 will give me 410 plus 159.8. That should give me 569.8. Okay, and then if I subtract that is 804.86 minus 569.8. And that should be, and this is right now, we got it right, 235.06. 235.06. Now, once we do that, now we got that straight. 235.06 for delta S. All right. Now that we've gotten that straight. Now, what they saying is this reaction is once you found delta H and delta S, you need to find this at room temperature. And they say basically calculate delta G at 25 degrees Celsius. And so remember what I told you, 25 degrees Celsius is the same as 298 K. So what you do is then you just plug and chug. Okay, so what you do is, okay, so delta G, let me write this in a color. See if my purple is working. Oh, no, it isn't. Write it in black. Yeah. So you got delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So you're going to have delta G is equal to your delta H, which is 783 and negative 783.64. And then that's going to be minus, and then the T, 298K, times 235.06. So, and then what I'm going to do is put this in brackets. So that's what you do for delta G, negative 783.64 minus 298 times 235.06. So 298 times 235.06 will give me, you should get here, negative 783.64 minus 70,047.88. And then that should give you, so let's see, 783.64 minus 7047.88. And then you should get a negative 70831.52. And so with that, saying that you got a negative Gibbs free energy means that you got a spontaneous reaction. Make sure you check the chart because the chart is on there. I told you where to find the chart last time, you guys. So look at that and make sure that is up there. So when you do this, that is how you solve for delta G. So Gibbs free energy, that's how you solve for it. It's spontaneous at room temperature because delta G is negative. Because I may ask you that, is it spontaneous? Is it non-spontaneous? You need to know that that reaction is spontaneous at that temperature. So that's how you solve for all of that. You have to go through, get it from the chart. Now, it may ask you for one of them based on, so delta G is on there too, but it just says what happens with this reaction at this temperature. So that's how you solve for it. So that's one way on how to do that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that you need to do. Yeah. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I wanted to go through that, how to find delta H, how to find delta S. So your last problem on there is going to ask you for that. And let me pull it up so that you guys can have an idea, so I can give you guys some hints. Let me pull it up. Yes. For that one, number 7, it asking you for delta H, delta S, and then calculate delta G for T equal to 298K. I put P equals to 1. This is under constant pressure, so 1 is not going to even figure into the equation. So doing this is just like number 7 on your test. So make sure you take a look at that. Remember I said products minus the reactants. So when you do the delta H of the products, make sure you do this for H and S. So use the chart in your book, Appendix C, to do number 7. Let's see. So that's what you do. That is what I'm asking for in that problem. So make sure you can calculate that and do that. So I went through all of that to show you how you do that, how you calculate those problems, how you calculate delta H, how you calculate delta S based on using a chart. Because maybe on the test, they're going to give you a small little chart for the problem. When you take your standardized test, they'll give you a small chart, and then that's what they will do. The tester posted. What I'm going to do is, I know some people did not do chapter 19, or chapter 19 didn't get converted. I will do a voiceover of that and post it. I will make sure the tests have a little bit of extra time for those who didn't get that. But if you got any other questions or anything, please email me, let me know. I put also a PDF of the test up on Canvas for you guys so that y'all can have a physical copy of the test if you wanted to print it out and go through it and look at it and stuff. So the test is up there. That test is up there. You got 4 half-life problems. You got knowing the particles, all of that stuff. You got all of that. So you got extra time on the written part of the exam. That's not due until tomorrow. I just did this problem for you, just walked it through step by step. If you go through and do this, doing number 7 on the test will be relatively easy. So I made this easy. Come Thursday, when we talk on Thursday, the next 3 class meets are only review. What you're going to see on the test, what type of questions I'm going to ask. The test is going to be in 2 parts. So make sure you tell your friends and stuff that can't make it, or whatever, send them the notes. It's gonna be a lot of notes, so make sure you get ready for Thursday. The next 3 sessions I am going to be reviewing. Now, you guys, the other thing, I have my kids, they are 2 and 3, they are very busy, but if you do need extra help, once I get them down at night, I can stay up and do some extra help, but you need to let me know. If you don't email me, if you don't reach out to me and say, Dr. Jones, I need extra help, I don't know you need extra help. So please, if you need some extra help, let me know. And then I'll try to see, can I set up a time to help you before the final. So all next week and stuff, I am just reviewing. But if you do need some extra time to set aside, I know some people are working and all of that stuff. If you need time, let me know. I will be available, but you have to let me know, because sometimes I lay down with the kids and go to sleep. But if I need to get up and come and get at this board and help you with problems, I will do that. So please let me know. Reach out to me. Some of you guys are friends with me on Facebook. Send me a private message, email, whatever. Most of it comes to my phone. So please let me know. Good luck on the test. Like I said, if you got any other questions, let me know. But go ahead and get started. Use the rest of this time to go ahead and get started on the test. Let me know if you see anything or you got any questions. Shoot me an email, because I got to get ready for my next class and I got to make sure this converts. You guys have a good one. Did anybody have anything before I get off? Are you guys good? Yes, no, maybe. Let me know. Are you guys good?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Like I said, if you guys need anything, yes, I know my kids are rambunctious, but if y'all need anything, please, you guys, let me know. I'll try to adjust my schedule the best I can so that I can accommodate you. So just let me know. All right. I love you guys. Let me know if you need anything. I'm gonna be grading and making videos. So I'll see you guys later.